and sisters, generals, welcome to another edition of EBX Discussion, and I honor thy ancestors, man, the righteous brothers and sisters who are generals that fought so very hard to get many of us in that foundation and the space that we are in. It's beautiful when we take time off, just to refresh ourselves, to come back and, get some divine power and insight. To my divine warriors out there, brother, sister, family, in the world and online, we got to stay strong in this conviction in this life within ourselves and just the overall life in general. It's a wonderful space to be, when we take this life serious and we go above and beyond the platform. It's just a place of expression, and it's wonderful when we start taking our gifts serious, spend time with our loved ones, which I did last weekend. I spent time with my son Ethan, his siblings, and I did talk to my uncle a couple weeks ago, and my mom, I meant to say, his sister is doing all right. His mom which is my grandmother, my Uncle Terry. Salute. And may my anybody in my family or anyone's family that we held dear, may he rest in peace and in power. My grandma, my granddad, my dad, my auntie, my cousin L'Oreal Lyrical had a child pass away in the family years ago. A couple of babies that I remember everyone in my family that transitioned. So rest in peace and in power. We'll never forget our ancestors, especially those who helped us and catapulted us to the space that we are in. So thank those that's been riding along. I appreciate you, and again, salute to the righteous ancestors that didn't give up, before social media, civilization, and all that. I'm talking about the powerful ancestors, those who built the pyramids. Something my son and I, General Lord Lamont, speak on. Salute, which we'll be doing a father and son discussion today. And he texted me this morning. I haven't responded to him yet. Had some things I had to take care of, and got to get that solitude moment, and I'm going to get into that. And I started my new book, Solitude Strength, and I've got 1.5 pages, and I will be reading that. Of course, I got some couple of songs I'm going to play like I always do. And one is Stop Hurting Each Other is actually a song that's on my channel. I uploaded maybe last week. And a song I made like 3 years ago called Keep Your Eyes Open. So look for that, probably about the mid part of the podcast. And brothers and sisters, if we do nothing else in this life, and as I always do, I place that protection over us and our families. I call down that great protection from that great divine for ourselves, from ourselves, so we don't become our own worst enemy. And brothers and sisters, if we do nothing else in this life, something that will help us at the core is become one with our chakras. And we're going to get into it. And of course, I'm going to read, what I always say, we got to sharpen those cognitive functions, so we can come into our golden years gracefully and teach others behind us, brother, sister, male or female, younger or older, because that's what we got to be in the business of. That's what I'm in the business of, building generals, those that want to be built. And, just like those who built me, my family, brothers and sisters I've met along the way, teachers, again, it's that realm I'm talking about. We include all those in our realm, protect our realm. That was my last podcast. And I'm talking about from inside all the way out, reaching out above our cities, countries, continents, wherever we are, states. I don't care where we are, any part of the world, draw that protection from that great divine to protect our realm, protect our teachers, our families, those who mean well and righteous, that's standing upright. Don't have to split hairs. We know who we are, Like that's I always like to bring up, I got to do it. Great divine gives us that grace period, but it comes a time when it's time to get up off our ass and get our shit together, because that great divine will hold us accountable at some point in our lives, And great divine can give us tests in subtle ways or aggressive. It just depends on if the individual is paying attention, because great divine moves in what? Strategic ways. I'm talking about that righteous force, not no man-made God, none of that shit. No, we talking about something that make us whole, focused, and right. Doing right even when it's not easy or when no one's looking, because that's when we win those victories with that great divine, Mother Nature, and that universe. When no one's looking and we do the right thing. That's when we gain momentum. And that's the secret to that spiritual world. Again, I don't know everything, but as a lot of us that are standing up right and are aware, that's the secret. Doing right even when no one's looking. That's when we gain momentum. Those are little victories. The victories no one knows about. Those are the best victories. And then it will show in how we act in our life and how we live. We don't have to prove anything. If we are righteous, brother or sister or family, let our life and our work, our gifts, our talents, whatever we're doing upright, righteous, let it speak for itself. So brothers and sisters, again, become one with our chakras. And of course, I'm going to read a summary and I want to get into it about understanding, and overstanding our chakras. Now I'm going to read about it. And I got like 4 reasons. First, I'm going to read a summary. Then I got like 4 reasons. We're going to break it down even further. The benefits, and it's more than just a benefit. It's a way of life. Paying attention to our chakras, because that's the core. Our chakras is connected to our soul, our psyche. So, and everything, again, how we treat ourselves, how we treat our body connects to our immune system. It makes its way out to our skin, things like that. I'm going to get into it and break it down, And understanding is a word I learned from Brother Kwaku, is a teacher I learned from. I actually just was listening to him speak yesterday. And another brother I learned from is Brother Lance Skur, and many others on his platform. Very powerful brother, very different than in most individuals you run into, as well as Brother Kwaku. But it's those brothers that I learned that word understanding, because understanding, of course, is exactly how it sounds. You understand your inner self, because when you understand your divine self, your inner self, nothing can fuck with you. And that's brother, sister, or family. But we have to be serious about studying our well-being, So let's get into it. My leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Current subscriber, new subscriber. Anybody that view, I salute you. Keep forging forward. Let nothing stop us from being the spiritual beings that great divine Mother Nature and that universe has called us to be. So let's break it down, leaders and teachers. Let's go. Understanding and understanding, working with our chakras can be beneficial and important and vital for our overall well-being, as they are known to be energy centers and influence physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of our lives. By learning about and balancing our chakras, we can improve our overall health, emotional stability, and spiritual connection with that great divine Mother Nature in that universe. Because once we are connected to our divine selves, I'm talking about something righteous now, not that man's God, Mother Nature and the universe, we'll begin to learn about those things too, because they all tie in together, because great divine, that higher force is infinite, it's never ending. It's infinity. You know what I mean? So again, the seen our kind come and go. So we'll learn as much as we can while we're here on this planet. Real talk. So those who are wasting time and just willy-nilly free falling through life and not learning anything, especially if you're evil, hurting anyone, think you hold power, I feel sorry for you. If you're lustful, looking for attention, lost and bogged down in addictions, I feel sorry for you. We all have challenges, or have had challenges. But again, that's why we got all this righteous one now, the real ones, emphasis on real, righteous reaches and teachers out here, and family, because we have learned from our struggles, and we got to get the human part of us right, as I always say, before we even get to the deep spiritual. Because it's like oil and water. If our health is not right, our spiritual is not going to be right. Now, we can work toward making it 100%, but let's keep our health right. And again, that's for me too, folks, because the body does matter. Mind, body, and soul. Remember, they all matter. One isn't more important than the other. You hear me talk about that all the time. Mind, body, and soul. You got to get it embedded in our soul. And there are 7 chakras, and 7 is my number, by the way. My birthday is 7/14/70. I got sevens in my social security number and my phone number. I've always dealt with sevens. That's my number. And but I'm not gonna say what the 7 chakras are. I'm gonna give my listeners, my generals, salute those who listen and ride along. Notice I don't say follow. We're not followers. We're changing that damn narrative. We ride along with each other. We teach each other to become leaders, you know. So I'm gonna give a little homework to the listeners. I want you to look up chakras and see what the 7 chakras are and study them, each one individually, you know, as we all say, brick by brick. It's a beautiful thing, you know. Enjoying the journey is the most beautiful thing one can do for oneself, brother or sister, younger or older, family, you know. Enjoy the journey. Don't get too wrapped up in this life. Have fun, enjoy loved ones, and most of all, enjoy ourselves. Because if we got joy within, it'll vibrate on the outside. So again, I'm gonna give my listeners, those who ride along, my generals, salute. I'm gonna give you a little homework. Look up chakras and see what the 7 chakras are. I was gonna read what they are. You know, most of us that study this and are aware already know. But I'm talking about those who just don't stop and take moments, you know. And you know that this is why we have solitude. That's why my next book is Solitude Strength, because we have to have those moments to get in touch with our divine selves, deep in the core of our soul, so we can come up with solutions, working through challenges, anticipation, all those things, new ideas, a creative way to discipline our children. That's another way. That's another reason why we have those moments of solitude, you know, just here and there, and teaching ourselves how to navigate through the dynamics of human reaction. You know, it ain't always got to be, you know, of course we have to be aware of toxic things, person, place, thing, but don't focus so much on that. Also look for the good brothers and sisters and love in our families, because it is out there, you know, so got to keep that love too. Don't let life suffocate us and make us bitter. Never do that, because bitterness, hate, jealousy, manipulation, undermining, trying to get over, hustling people, those are all poison. And if you're doing that, you got a bunch of garbage accumulated in one psyche. You won't see the good part of us, because it's in us. You know, life is about choices. People who are healthy, mind, body, and soul, do bad and evil things, it's because they choose to. I don't want to hear that shit about the devil. Devil don't make you do shit. Devil can only do what we allow that devil to do. The devil is a parasite, and it can't do anything without a host. So I want to hear that shit about the devil made me do, the devil made you do, the devil. I don't like that shit. Devil to make me do a damn thing. If I end up now, of course, I'm not saying I do things bad and all that, of course, but I'm human, you know. But the devil don't make me do shit. You know, if I end up doing something that I did it by choice, you know, we have to be accountable. Stop giving the devil credit. Fuck the devil. Real talk. So we got to talk down on that. That's where that conviction comes in. You know, it's all about being whole and righteous for oneself, especially if we got family, children, significant others. So fuck the devil. You know what I mean? So, all right. Now I want to read 4 more reasons why it's beneficial to become one with our chakras. And all right, I'm gonna go through 2 points. Well, actually, they're not points. They're 2 reasons. And the first one is holistic healing, and the next one is energy flow. And I'm gonna read both of them, and I'm gonna play these 2 songs. Like I said, one is what I say them songs was. Oh, one is Keep Your Eyes Open, and Stop Hurting Each Other, which I've uploaded. Both of these songs are on my channel. Keep Your Eyes Open is 3 years old, and that's actually in my preview for returning subscribers. That's in my preview. And Stop Hurting Each Other, which is actually the intro you hearing playing right now. That's the beat to it. But yeah, so I want to read these 2 reasons, my leaders and teachers, of the benefits of becoming one with our chakras and getting to know our inner core, that spiritual invoice, the human invoice, you know, that I always talk about. Get to know our chakras, get to know our body, our mind, you know, explore, you know, and it will lead to so many great things on the outside of us, you know. And then we'll come into a righteous person, place, thing. It don't always got to be bad. Again, when we had a heightened self-awareness, I say all the time, we don't have to worry about toxic things around us. It will be highlighted. We'll know what to do. That's why we have solitude strength, you know. and I'll read that page from my book. I read it before, the first page, and I got another page started, but it's only half of it. So it'd be page 1 I'll read, but I read it before. But let's read these 2 reasons. My divine warriors become one with our chakras, and I mean it. Let's go. Holistic healing. Chakra balancing is a holistic approach to well-being, recognizing the interconnectedness of the body, mind, and spirit. The interconnectedness, man, emphasis on that, because that's where all matters. Remember I say one can't work without the other. Mind, body, and soul, or body, mind, spirit. Every way you want to put it. One can't work without the other, folks. All right, and it ain't no shortcuts or none of that. No, we have to go through all 7 chakras. That's why I said look it up. See what the 7 chakras are. I want to give you a little homework. I could say what they are and read from it, but no. I want you to do your own homework. You know, we got to learn to build ourselves to become generals within. Be a general. Be strong, you know. All right. Energy flow. Chakras are considered points where life force energy flows, and imbalances can lead to stagnation and blockages affecting physical, emotional, and spiritual health. You know, so blockages, like we all talk about, you know, things that's in our mind that don't need to be there, things that come, because not all thoughts are our not all thoughts that come into our psyche are our thoughts. So that's why we assess and reset. You know, we assess ourselves, see where the thoughts are coming from. Who do we speak to? What do we hear online? What influence do we get from the TV? You know, and chase away unwanted thoughts. You know, not that we get them, but, you know, just got to be careful. We're living in a hyperactive world, and in social media, you know, a lot of things can come in our mind, even when we're offline. It's real talk. We got to never underestimate this world, the media, and or social media. So again, stay intact and become one with our chakras, and we can fight off any parasite, whether it's person, place, thing. All right, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna get to this song. Well, a couple of songs actually, and I think the first one will be, let me see. Yep, but I'm gonna come back, and I got 2 more reasons why we should become one with our chakras. Let me see, I gotta get back to this. All right, gotta let me see, work my creativity on this here computer. All right, the first song is gonna be "Keep Your Eyes Open." Yep, brothers and sisters, thank those that's been riding along, and you know, keep loving and hugging on your loved ones, and most of all, love yourself. But don't be paranoid, but be aware, you know. And in this life, sometimes we got to keep our eyes open. I'm not just talking about none specific or personal things. I'm talking about just the world in general, like entities that's trying to, you know, attack us. Don't want those that are aware to be aware. So keep your eyes open, brothers and sisters. Be back after this.
Yeah, don't care what you gotta do. EBX here, foot soldier, have no fear. And keep your eyes open. Try to stay focused and watch for the haters. Yeah, there they go. Keep your eyes open, and you better stay focused and watch for them haters. There they go. Third eye open, gotta stay focused. There's too many sharks out here in this ocean. Don't need no validation, nor no promotion. I move real smooth, yeah, I'm coasting. Glad to be alive, don't care who's scoping. Achieve our goals, just keep on going. Yeah. Watch who you connected to. A knowledge of self, never be no fool. Now keep your eyes open. Better stay focused and watch for them haters. There they go. I mean, keep your eyes open. Yeah. Everybody stay focused and watch for them haters. There they go. Knowledge of self, nothing can beat it. Kings and queens, be a fucking leader. If you have self-hate, get out my damn way. Mental illness real, I see it every day. A tricks is for kids, games don't play. But when you dropping these jewels every time I lay. Man, keep your eyes open. Gotta stay focused and wise for them haters. There they go, there they go, there they go, there they go. Man, keep your eyes open and you better stay focused and wise for them haters. There they go, there they go, there they go, there they go. Keep doing your thing, making sure that you stay free. Then you will see, and keep on being a beast. Then you will stay here, and no such thing is no fear. And I never will stop. I get it, I'm a spirit on this hip hop, yeah. And you keep your eyes open, and you better stay focused. And rise for the man. Salute, stay strong. One.
All right. Yep. Remember, that's nothing specific. That means the world too. But as I heard from Brother Kwaku, salute. We don't have to judge no one, cause one bring judgment upon themselves. Real talk, and like he said, many of us say this misleading. I ain't trying to beat up on Christians, but this misleading of the Bible. Some of them things in that Bible, you got to really sift through that. But I ain't gonna get into that because that ain't what this podcast is about. That'd be another Bible. That'd be another podcast. But I spoke on a little bit of the generic, how religion is generic and it just covers up it. And it's like, this is what religion is to me. It's like when people pray, it just hit a bubble. It's not reaching out because religion stops that. But if you tap into your real spiritual self, especially my melanated, I'm talking about my melanated brothers and sisters, because we have a magnetism that no other culture can match. That's facts. But religion stops, let me see, how can I put it? Like when we're praying, especially if we're praying from the pit of our soul and not superficial, when it's a real prayer. I say meditation, but I know some people say prayer. But when it's a real prayer from the pit of the soul, it'll bust through that bubble. But if it's a superficial prayer and it's not real from the soul, it's just, imagine a bubble around our body and it's not even getting past the bubble. So that's what I mean. Religion is like it keeps you in a little bubble. You don't get no farther than that bubble. That's why I made that podcast about protecting our realm and going above and beyond our body and really connecting deep, deep, deep in our soul, not getting something from some pastor and of course, now we can listen to reachers and teachers because I listen to people, but the real people, you know what I mean? You in them righteous circles, we'll know who the generals are. Not no fake pastor, not no one trying to get clicks and hits and views, Now we got those that do have a big platform, that are righteous. Now, not everybody that has a big platform is toxic, because I know some. I know some brothers and sisters that got, a pretty nice amount, pretty big platform, but are good, righteous. That's what helped me, as well as my family. I never leave my family out of there. That's the core, brothers and sisters. Remember, ourselves, children, family, significant other. But that's the thing, that's the being that's over all of it, is that great divine, Mother Nature, and that universe. Because I don't give a damn. Nothing is above those three forces. Infinity, author of patience and time. A great divine, Mother Nature, and that universe. Three wonderful forces, Remember, divine is the masculine energy. Mama Nature is the feminine energy. And they work well together, So, and that's what we should be led by, not mixing the two, working together one like a marriage. That's what the divine and Mother Nature is, not mixing the two, because that's when you get problems and friction and confusion. It's supposed to be harmony with masculine and feminine energy, working together as one, not perverted, So, and those who think that, I feel sorry for them. I really do, because nothing good comes out of oil and water. Think about it. Marinate on that. All right. Now, I want to play this other song, and I played this before, and it's called Stop Hurting Each Other. That's another thing that will stop us from paying attention to ourselves and bettering ourselves and paying attention to our chakras and little things within us that could come out later, is when we're hurting people. Because as we all say, hurt people, Even if people try to justify it, no, it was because of this and because of that, at the core, It's some kind of hurt or something we haven't gotten over, especially if we lash out and we hurting. Again, if we're hurting people, we need to get to the core and see why we're hurting people if we are doing that, All right, so I'm going to play this song. Again, it's called Stop Hurting Each Other. And I uploaded this about a week ago. It's on here on my channel. But, I love to play songs to relate to the example or subject that I'm giving, Become one with our chakras, Become one with our chakras, brothers and sisters. It ain't no joke. Be back after this. Stop hurting each other, please. Let go. Wake up music. Salute. Rest in peace and in power. Lawyer Liquor. My cuz. Salute to Lord Lamont. Got to love one another. Stop hurting each other. My sister and my brother. Got to love one another. Keep moving on, as I say on every song. Keep on doing these things to make us strong. Man, we can't keep doing the same thing. Making sure that we don't go insane. Gotta do smart stuff in our body, in this life. Making sure that we keep a good brain. Yeah. I always keep my family in me while I own these beats. And making sure, I pave through the storm. Making sure that our life is sweet. I make it for you. We can't lose. Gotta see clear, never be confused. Yeah, we can have good things, for my sisters, family, and my dudes. We got to love one another. Stop hurting each other. My sister and my brother. Yeah. Let's go. And learn to love one another. You done been through it too, I done been through it too. That's why I'm here and I'm a different dude, I'm still here, I'm around. That's why I got this positive sound. Never be stopped, cause I always rock. Cause I love the bottom, I don't see the top. I stay bouncing in one's mind. I don't care if I'm hot, I show that love, a lot. I love this thing that they call hip. I keep pushing through, try my best, man, to have good news. I love my family, all in my soul. I will stay grounded, sisters and bro. Can't hurt me, don't hurt each other, and stay bold. Stop hurting one another. I like to love each other. My sister and my brother. I like to love one another. Stop hurting each other. Let go, let go, let go. My sister and my brother. I like to love one another. Discover something great in each other. Real talk. Discover something great in each other. Stop looking for wrong in each other. You know what I'm saying? I swear, we as black people, melanated brothers and sisters, we got that bad. For those that do that. Now, again, we got righteous brothers out here, brothers and sisters out here, Then it's a reality, Never get lost in the false sense of reality. I always say, danger, 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 so. But it's unfortunate that you got people out there like that, you got people that's working hard out here to, to wake people up and, help people to see the good in themselves, And it's just wonderful. Again, I feel sorry for people who don't give a damn, especially if you're healthy and there's nothing wrong with you and you just wasting life, just wasting time. I really feel sorry for you because life can really be wonderful, can be great when we tap in to our divine selves. Again, become one with our chakras, brothers and sisters. Learn about our chakras and everything else divine will follow. Automatic. Whenever we're doing things to improve ourselves and others and helping others to improve themselves, it just makes for a blissful, blessful life. Real talk. So unless you don't want to have a good life and you want to stay where you are, teaches his own. But again, look up chakras, look up the 7 chakras, see what they are, study each one of them individually, that's how we maintain being a general and a divine warrior, because you don't get to a space and stop. No, you keep building, you keep going, you get stronger, because we have to be ready for outside toxic events person, place, or thing. Because as I say all the time, things are coming at us at some angles, if not all angles. Real talk. So gotta be aware. It ain't no game out here sometimes. But I always say, folks, while we have fun, enjoy ourselves, but stay on guard, as generals do. All right, let's go to these next 2 reasons. And I'm gonna read a page out of my book. And then I'm gonna salute you, brothers and sisters and family, on to a divine warrior life. All right. Now let's read these 2 reasons, 2 more reasons why we should become one with our chakras. Let's go. Physical health. Balancing the chakras can promote physical well-being by optimizing energy flow, and potentially enhancing the body's natural healing abilities. You hear that? Natural healing abilities, like our immune system. You know, it's something I noticed too about this world and all these movies. I am sick of these movies about viruses. I am so sick of that shit. Every other movie, something about a damn virus. And that's what I see. This world, when you pay too much attention to the world news and all that kind of shit, especially the fear mongering shit, you know, it taps into our stress levels. It taps into our emotions. We have to be careful of that, you know. And that's what paying attention, becoming one with our chakras, that's where it comes into play. That's when it works best. You know, we have to filter out things that come in our psyche. I say all the time, what goes in, what goes out. Keep ourselves balanced, whole, and straight through the mix of our human errors. We're going to make human errors sometimes, but there are less of them when we pay attention to our mind, body, and soul. The psyche, see, hear, and feel. The 7 senses. I bring them up every now and then. I call them the 7 senses. Mind, body, and soul. See, hear, and feel. And the psyche. Those are the most important things in our life that will keep us stable, seeing things, and keep us strong, you know, and teaching others. Remember, it's about building generals too, not just doing things for ourselves, because that's how we get strong. That's how we make that realm stretch out past that bubble I was speaking on a little while ago. We got to get out of that little ass bubble, you know. We have to be aware and know if we're in a bubble. Real talk. Kind of like being under a spell, you know. I say from time to time, I say it a lot, but I'll say it again. Can't break a spell if we don't know we're under one. Real talk. All right. The last but not least reason why we should become one with our chakras. Emotional balance. Each chakra, remember there's 7 of them. Each chakra is associated with specific emotions. Specific, that used to be a funny word for me. Specific emotions and understanding or overstanding. Thank you, Kwaku. Understanding these associations or understanding associations can help us address emotional challenges and improve our emotional stability. What I was just talking about, what we see, hear, and feel, you know, anything that taps into our emotions. Because remember, once our emotion goes south and we don't have control over it, it taps into our stress. That's another thing we can look up. I say that all the time. You want to know how serious stress is? Look it up. Real talk. It ain't no joke. And speaking of viruses, that's what stress is like. And you say, well, how you know that, E? Because it has the same symptoms. Look it up. See, that's how you stay intact with your body and keeping yourself whole and straight. We have to look up and research things and just don't free flow through life. Get a grasp on things, have a purpose, especially if we got what? Children, family, significant other. All right, now I want to read a page from my book. And again, it's called Solitude, Strength. And this where all the power is developed. Again, solutions, results, creativity, thinking about things for our day. This is how we can make every day a triumph when we get into our solitude moments. Again, it's not about being selfish. It's not about staying away from people. It's just a place of rejuvenation to keep ourselves strong and fresh and ready and keep our eyes open, like that song I just played a minute ago. All right, my leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Let's go. It's a page from my book, Solitude, Strength, and this is page 1. I got page 2, but I only got to half of it. I haven't finished the rest of the page. And I did volunteer this week. I had so much fun with the children and my son. My son was happy to see me and he ran and gave me a hug. And, you know, and I treat all his friends as if they were my own kids. Real talk. And it's beautiful, you know. Again, it can be challenging at the schools. Again, when you're on the inside, you know what's going on. So, and those teachers, I know teachers aren't perfect and all that, but dealing with children can be very, very challenging sometimes. And I see it with my own eyes. So, and they were short staffed, and you can just see the looks on their face. And, 10-year-old fourth graders, oh my God, holy crap. Can you imagine being in a lunchroom with, I don't know how many young children? What is it? I don't know, 300-400 maybe. There's a lot of them in the lunchroom, and you can imagine different personalities, male, female, brother, sister. And, you got this kid doing something, you got another, and man, it can be challenging some days. Then you have those days where it's smooth. Then you have those days where it's real quiet, and then out of nowhere, boom, a couple of kids start acting up. It be like that. But in the end, it's all worth it. We got to remember, as I say about content creating, the revolution, and this divine walk, never forget why we started doing this in the first place. That's what centers me and brings my ass back to reality. Back to the light, back to reality. Heck yeah, So, and no matter how challenging life can be, it's all worth it, like Malcolm X said, he knew things that was going to come, but that fire in him would not let him back down. That's the kind of fire we got to have in this life. And again, it's not always about being on a podium or being seen or being this mega person, no, it all starts right where we are. Great things will come, but it depends on who we are as an individual, brother, sister, family, that whatever we're looking for, whatever it is, because great divine gives us what we need, remember, not what we want. So everything happens in this divine place and time. So if you're seeking, you're in a good place. If you're righteous in your heart, you're in a good place. Just because that thing or something we want hasn't came yet doesn't mean it isn't. We might not be ready for it. That's the thing. We can't jump out and sit, especially when it comes to attention, superstardom, public eye. If we feel in our soul, always listening to our divine spirit, we know. Most of the time we know. We just don't listen to that little inner voice, that divine inner voice that all of us get. I always say we all get that call. It's just some of us don't listen to it or don't pay attention to it or be in denial, which is danger, danger, danger. Be human. We make mistakes. Like I be fumbling when I be speaking. I don't give a damn. I keep right on moving. That's what knowing oneself and being true to oneself. That's when it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's the best defense. Again, it's not about being better than nobody. It's just being strong within, so we can be aware and being ready for things if we need to be. While we're enjoying the journey and having fun, enjoying ourselves, which is important, and our loved ones. Because we got to remember, we're reaching that realm out. Let's take our meditation and our deep, deep prayer to a whole nother level. It's time to break out the bubble, brothers and sisters. Real talk. And that's for me too. Real talk. All right. So I want to read this page from my book, and then I'm going to salute you, Divine Warriors On, to have a divine life. And again, I want those that's listening, those that maybe haven't studied chakras, because most of my brothers and sisters or family that's aware and study the mind, body, and soul, they already know. So this ain't, for y'all. It's confirmation for you too. But just those that, because sometimes this life will have us busy where we don't take moments and study things and, ask questions and find ways to improve and then sharpen ourselves and intuition and all that stuff. And this brother, sister, male, female, family, younger or older, That's why I came up with this book, Solitude Strength, so we can get a grasp on life. Don't just run through life without enjoying ourselves or loved ones. Again, become one with our chakras. Again, I'm gonna get some homework to the listeners. I want you to look up chakras and see what the 7 chakras are. Because it's good to research and do things. It's good to listen to people too and be inspired. But we have to be a student of our own lives too. And learn things, not just sit back like in a church on a pew. We gotta get our asses off that damn pew and get involved. Real talk. Like me volunteering. It was a time I didn't volunteer, and I was actually kind of hesitant to do it at first until I did it. And it's like when we get involved in these communities and with children, and like with me volunteering, something wonderful comes out of it. You start seeing the impact you have on others, whether it's adults or children, and salute to the faculty, principal, and all them, because they treat me good. They really welcome me in. They always tell me they thankful for me helping and all that stuff, and that encourages me, makes me want to do it more. So when you begin to see that you're an impact on a child, that's what make it all worth it. And it's more than just volunteering. You're giving back, and that's what we should do. At least in my opinion. And it just feels good. I always have to be getting paid. And another thing I noticed about children, they're very observant. They do notice. So never underestimate the intuition of a child, brother or sister, because they ask questions too. Because I have children ask me, "Do you work here? Are you Ethan's dad?" Because that's my son's name, Ethan. You always hear me talk about. And it just makes him feel so happy. And the smile on his face when he saw me come to his school, ran up to me and gave me a big hug, as well as some of his other friends. They hugged me too. It's wonderful, And they be like, "You work here?" And I tell them, "No, I volunteer." It's like they can't fathom that I'm doing that without getting paid. It's like it does something to their heart. Even the ones that maybe misbehave, but in the end, they still seek something in you. And that's something I've learned, And again, got to be strategic, because every child is different. Every, the male, you got the young sister, young brother. Every child is different. Every personality is different, because we don't know, as I always say, and most of us say, we don't know what may be going on in the home. But the more I see them, the more I interact, the more I get to know them, man, it's just beautiful, man, to be an impact to a youth, brother or sister, male or female. It's beautiful. And that's a part of becoming one with our chakras. All right. Now, because everything matters. Of course, paying attention to our well-being, our health, and all that matters. But, having good interactions with brothers and sisters, whether younger or older, or family, it brightens our chakras. It helps. That also helps our well-being, which connects to our chakras. Again, look up the 7 chakras, see what they are, and study them. That's my homework for my divine warriors. Salute. All right, now I'm going to read a page from my book, and I'm going to salute you, brothers and sisters on, and family, to your divine warrior life. All right, let's go. Solitude. Remember, this is from my book, page 1, Solitude, Strength. Because I remember I had another book that I finished. I read most of the pages out of it. It was called Unlocking the Vault. That was my last book, and it was 50 pages. So I don't know if I probably start another book after this, but it'll be 50 pages. And then by the time I get to that 50th page, I'll come up with an idea for a title for another book. But let's go. Page 1, Solitude, Strength. Solitude is the core strength of our being. Moments that keep our soul intact, of course, mind and body. It's also when we connect to our divine spirit, deep within, to the bottom of the barrel, I always say. When we hear that thong, that's the bottom. This keeps us contained and ready for outside events, especially if it's toxic, person, place, thing. You know how I do it. Solitude is a place of study and concentration to keep our soul and outer shell protected, especially in these times. We are living in a hyperactive world. I think I just said that a little while ago. Everyone's looking for some kind of attention, whether financial, physical, or spiritual. Everyone's looking. Okay, go back. We are living in a hyperactive world. Everyone's looking for some kind of attention. Okay, some people are, some are not. Whether financial, physical, or spiritual, take solitude serious in a time to reflect, just to stay grounded in reality. That's it. And again, it's not a selfish thing or nothing like that. It's just a place of serenity, place of recharging, place of quiet, every now and then, and it's good to do this. This is how we stay intact with our chakras and our well-being. And again, we will be amazed as brother, sister, family, what will pop up in our spirit when we get to ourselves, especially if we're coming into a pivotal moment in our lives. I say this a lot. Those are the times when it's really vital, those solitude moments. And remember, that's why I put strength on there, because it's about strengthening ourselves. It's not about staying away from people, being antisociable, nothing like that. It's just keeping oneself whole, because nobody knows us better than ourselves. Everywhere we go, there we are, So walking in a life of denial, I feel sorry for you. Danger, danger, danger. Whatever weakness we have, whatever. Remember, things hide in our body, whether we think they do or not. Okay, be unaware and walk through this life willy-nilly, free falling, not paying attention to shit, and watch how difficult and chaotic your life will become. And again, it's not always about this deep spiritual thing. It's just paying attention to one's health and well-being, especially if we got what? Family, children, significant other, because it's not always about us. Real talk. Again, I love solitude, but at the same time, it's not always about me. Real talk, because again, I had family help me. I've had brothers and sisters help me, so that's why I say in that realm, that divine realm, we include everyone in there. Reachers and teachers that have helped us, friends along the way, those who may be struggling, call down great divine grace and protection on them too. That's how we expand our realm and we keep ourselves strong, so we can be ready and be a general and help to build other generals. So that's what it's about. So that was in my spirit, brothers and sisters. Do whatever we got to do to keep ourselves strong, because again, we're living in a hyperactive world. That's why we have solitude strength, just for however long it takes to rejuvenate and keep ourselves however long it takes. Because I can meditate. To be honest, I can meditate for a whole day. Real talk. But it takes practice to do that. And those who have a short attention span really have to work on that. Having a short attention span, that's not good. The real talk. You have to be able to have patience, learn the art of patience in life, learn how to step back from things. That's how we learn. That's how we keep from jumping off our impulses. That's the core of becoming one with our chakras. Study our impulses. You can breeze through this life if we study our impulses, because impulses would get a lot of individuals in trouble, because that's one thing that used to get me in trouble, our impulses, because that's where we start. And again, look up what the 7 chakras are, so you can be on fire out here and see good things in you. Be cosmic. It don't have to be. Nothing is impossible. Only impossibility. That's something that's in our mind. It's not a reality. So we can. The mind, man, it's just waiting to expand. It's like that great divine just waiting on us. People, again, I hate when people say they're waiting on God. Stop saying that. Great divine has always been there. Waiting on us. We have that power. We just have to develop it, get through these weak ass human errors, and be the powerful beings that great divine has called us to be. It's not impossible, but we have to study, put in the work, and the great things will come. So that was what I had in my spirit. Thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion. Look for more music, book sessions, heavy hip hop hitters. I got a 9 and a 10 coming, and a father and son discussion, which my son and I, General Lord Lamont, will be doing today. So stay great out there. Thank those for coming in. Current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view my divine warriors. Stay strong out there, and whatever it takes. Again, look up 7 chakras, see what they are. And my divine warriors, and then let nothing stop us in this life. I mean it, brother, sister, family, and become one. I mean it, become one with our chakras. Salute.